The bottom has fallen out of ICP over the last couple of days, although if you look at the daily chart, you can see ICP is trying to make some gains back from today after hitting a low of $10.50 roughly. But we're going to talk about where ICP is and why it's where it is, and perhaps what we're going to see here in the near future. Let's back up real quick to get some perspective. First of all, if you are an ICP holder, I'm jealous of you, straight up. You are doing very well in the market. I do not hold ICP. I've been watching your gains in the market, and you should congratulate yourself, especially if you happen to get in any of these lows sometime in 22 or 23. You are absolutely ecstatic about what ICP is doing. If you have had good luck in ICP, let me know in the comments where you bought, just to make me even more jealous, and we'll have fun with that together. Because look, back in October, you were at 3. You hit a high, what's that, a high of 16. You went up over 5 times in a matter of 2.5 months. That's incredible increase, an incredible increase. Even after giving back some of your gains now, you're still 3 times higher than you were with your lows of 3 back in October. So let's get some perspective. Anything I talk about today is going to be about the short term of ICP over the next few days and the next few weeks. Has absolutely nothing to do with the long term. The long term of ICP looks fantastic. One of the stronger coins out there. Again, if you are in ICP, you should be ecstatic and congratulated. This is what I've been seeing over the last few days. I did make a video about ICP, and in it, I talked about where we had this constriction of price going on the daily with these higher lows and lower highs, pointing us into this kind of spring-loaded pattern, wedge, if you will, where we were going to either break up or down. There was no doubt we were going to break up or down, I felt, with ICP. And I thought the direction that we were going to break out on was going to be dependent on Bitcoin. That was on these days right here. And my thought was if Bitcoin was going to fall out of the bottom, well, actually, my thought on Bitcoin, and I made it very clear, was that I thought we were going to hit 40,000. We haven't quite hit that, but we've come close with about 40,250. But what I didn't know was, were we going to break out of the bottom of this Bitcoin channel and directly go to 40,000, like kind of we have, or were we going to get a last gasp up to 44.5 before falling to 40,000? I was quite convinced and made it clear in my videos that I thought we would hit 40,000 before we hit 48,000, and that does appear is what happened. Taking that information over to ICP, when we were about 3 days ago, my thought was if the Bitcoin does that up to 44,000 and then down move, that we would break higher on ICP. And if Bitcoin fell out of the bottom of its channel to 40,000 rather quickly, we were going to break out of this channel. That is what happened. We did break out of the bottom of this channel, and we have started sliding down. You have a wall either way if you're an ICP. You've got this pretty strong resistance level from 14.7 to 15.7. You can see it holds several wicks here. And then you've got this pretty strong support level between, let's say, 8.7 and 10, where there was all this constructive price action back in the latter part of December. If I zoom out on ICP, you can still see those levels have been pretty important in the price structure of ICP, even back to 2022, where you can see that contain the high of this swing high back in June of 2022. These levels contain the high of August 2022, that swing high. Back here, these levels were support for the swing lows in February 2022, March 2022. You can see ICP came down and hit these levels, bounced up, down, bounced up, and then broke through. See if you can see that. Okay, hit, bounce up, break through. My point is these levels have been critical to ICP and the structure of its price action for some time, and it proves they're very critical right now. Not critical maybe, but important. Like Price just isn't going to go whoop-de-doo straight through either one of these, okay? There's too much buying and selling around these levels for price just to break through. I do think, looking at Bitcoin, that we're still got more downside ahead of us. I will say the same thing I did earlier. I think we're going to tag 40,000 and probably the way it's looking even go down into this range of 38,000 to 40. Will we do it this way and then back down? Or will we just continue down? Again, it's hard to tell, but I do think there's further falling in Bitcoin coming up in the next few weeks. I do think ICP is going to end up in this level around 9 to 10 before much longer. I just believe Bitcoin is going to pull ICP down. It's going to be a sympathetic move across many of the altcoins, and we're going to end up with ICP touching these levels of 9 to 10 again. At that point, we'll just have to see how ICP is reacting and how Bitcoin is reacting to find out if we are going to break further. If we break further, seems like I've got a line here that I drew last time around 7.7 or roughly that kind of takes into consideration this range here would be our next levels of resistance or support. Something like that. We're not close to that right now. Nothing to worry about with that right now. Let's just watch ICP now and see if it's going to enter this level and find out what it does when it does enter this level of 9 to 10. How will you know I'm wrong? Well, you have to have, for every theory out there, you have to have a reason and an idea of why that theory may go wrong and what would be indications of you being wrong. Well, indications of my being wrong would be this: if Bitcoin comes back into this channel and starts wrestling with 45,000. But it can't just wrestle, because I've already said Bitcoin could easily come up here to 44.5, 45, bounce, and then give up. Now, that might take a couple of weeks to make that move, but it could make that move. Bitcoin still is, at least on the short term over the next few weeks / months, has downward pressure and will have downward pressure until it can get above 45,000 and close several days. If it just goes up to 45,000 and closes and gets rejected back down into this level again the next day, that's not really good. That's no proof of anything. For me to be wrong on my supposition that Bitcoin is going to continue to fall and ICP is going to continue to fall, Bitcoin has to get above 45,000 and close several days in a row and kind of rebase, maybe do some wiggling around this level of 44 to 45 before it can go higher. I don't see that happening right now. I don't see it happening in the near future. I think we've got to look at ICP and Bitcoin as far as going down to this level. I will always say I can be wrong. Please understand. And these are just my theories and what I believe. And ICP could do opposite of what Bitcoin's doing. I don't think it will, because ICP has the same downward pressure that so many of the other coins have. ADA has it. Ethereum has it. VET has it. Doge has it. Avalanche has it. Matic has it. I could go on the coins I do videos on, but they're all following this downward pressure, downward trend idea. The thing about ICP is it's a stronger coin. It is not being affected as much by the downward pressure. And ICP has a lot more to give up because it increased 5 times, right? So even if ICP gets down to 10, you're still up 3 times plus what you were back in October. And not all of these coins are that good. Doge didn't go up 5 times. It didn't even double. ADA didn't go up 5 times. It only went 2.5 times, and it's barely hanging on for double from its October lows now. October lows now. And you're an ICP, and you're like, well, that's too bad for y'all, but I'm still up 4 times. You see my point? So perspective for ICP, it's a fantastic coin, fantastic project. It is holding up well. But if Bitcoin hits at 40,000 and falls below, I think you'll get some sympathetic moves out of ICP as well, and other altcoins. For ICP, you're going to be looking at this 9 to 10 level. We'll just watch price together. Be careful in your trading. I see a little bit of downtrend, downtimes coming. Maybe not long. We'll just have to keep an idea on, look at the price and see what happens. But I still see a little bit more downward pressure on ICP and other coins as well. All right, I'll keep you updated. Y'all be careful.